The reform at the Lands Bureau, it started with the administration of His Excellency Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Governor of Lagos State, as he then was. He started this with the implementation of what they call the Electronic Document Management System. This system was essentially, we scanned all the title documents in Lands Bureau. We scanned about 30 million pages of title documents. The reason for doing this was because to create a seamless way to carry out searches. Because before you want to buy a property, you need to search for the title to see if it's encumbered or not. So at that time, searches could take you like a month for you to search for a title document. So the governor, as he then was then, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, thought that this was unacceptable. So he commissioned the project to electronically search title documents. So for this, we had to do the scanning of the title documents. And as a result of that, you could now search, and then it could take you like 48 hours to do your search as a result of the intervention of the Electronic Document Management System. The second main intervention on reform came in 2014. It's riding on the back of the EDMS. This was to do with the Electronic Certificate of Occupancy for state land. The decision to change the yellow paper, because this yellow paper, this big, ugly yellow paper, we have been using it since the inception of the Land Use Act in 1978. And it was remained like that until 2014, during the administration of Mr. Babatunde Raji Fashola. It was born on the need to curtail some identified risks, such as forgery, counterfeiting, cloning, and delay. The yellow paper C of O has no security feature whatsoever. So it was very easy for it to be cloned, and they still continue to clone it, although we do what we need to do to make sure it is stopped. But it was very easy to clone. Any printer could print it, and there was no security feature in it. So that led to the implementation of the electronic document, the Electronic Certificate of Occupancy. The paper for it is specially made for Lagos State government by De La Rue in the UK. And we make bold to say that you cannot forge that electronic CFO using current technologies, because it has a two-factor authentication. First of all, you need to get the paper. The paper is only made by De La Rue in the United Kingdom, those that make passports and money. So you need to get hold of the paper. And then secondly, you need to get into our system. Because once it's printed through our system, it comes out with a barcode, 3 at the back, 1 in front. And those barcode contains essential information that only the holder will know. So you need to first of all get hold of our paper from where we store it and hide it, and then you need to now process it through the system, our system. So it's very difficult for that to be forged. You'll say, okay, fine. If taking care of security, how about the processing time? Why does it take a long time? Like I said, we put so many checks and balances in place because of certain things that we have seen and perceived. So those checks and balances are essential for your own protection as well. Imagine in a situation where you're sitting at home and somebody has taken a loan out on your property, and they come to foreclose, and you're not aware. The first time you know is when they come to foreclose. It happens, and it happens a lot. So we don't take that lightly, and we're doing things to sort that out. So moving from 2014 under the Raji Fashola administration, from the electronic document system, we come to the current administration under Mr. Governor Babajide Olusola Sanwo-Olu. We brought in what they call the Integrated Land Administration Automation System. We're very excited about this, and it is not a project to simply automate our system. Yes, we want to automate our system. We're moving from manual processing of all our title documents to electronic processing. And that involves a lot of work. I'll take some time to explain it. Well, I just want you to know that it's not simply a project of moving from manual to electronic. We want to make sure that all the documentation we have registered at the Lands Bureau are authentic. We're weeding out the sheep from the south, right? So it's a painstaking process, because if you put garbage, it's garbage in, garbage out. So we don't want to do that. So in addition to migrating from manual to automation, we are also weeding out bad eggs. We're weeding out documents that ought not to be registered in the title document. So it's a two-pronged project. So in moving from manual to automation, it means that at the touch of a button, all the transactions, it would have been a much easier life if we just automate moving forward. My life would be so easy. But that's not what we're doing. We're creating a database and a history of a property. So, for example, any transaction, our aim is that all transactions that are taking place on a property from 1960 or 1950 till date, at the touch of a button, when you click that address, you see all the documents, right? So once you start, it starts with, it's a terrible, painful work, because you have to look for all those documents. So if there have been 20 assignments on that property, you have to go and look for the 20 assignments, put them down. If there have been 15 mortgages, you go and look for all the 15 mortgages, put it on top. When there's a mortgage, there has to be a release, and that's what a lot of people forget. When you take out a mortgage, right, and you've discharged your mortgage, you go to bed. But on our own records, it still says that there's a mortgage, because you have not come back to tell us that you have discharged the mortgage. So there has to be a release. So when there's 15 mortgages, there has to be 15 release of mortgages. So we look for those 15 and put them there. So that forms one history of one property. And we have to do that for every single property registered in Lagos State. And there are hundreds of thousands. So in addition to doing that, we need to cross-check that. You see, because it's an automated process. The program is programmed. The system is programmed. Look for A, B, C, D, E, F, G documents. It's like an algorithm. The system will look for those documents. If the system does not see, if it sees A, B, C, D, F, it doesn't see E, your application will stall. Because in land transaction, there has to be a chain. All you estate developers knows that. There has to be a chain of transaction, and the chain must not be broken. Once the chain is broken, it means there's a problem somewhere, which will come back and haunt you. So the process itself is set up like that. So every chain must be linked. So that's why this project is taking a while, and it's not something you can write, because we're the first in Nigeria doing this to this level. Most people are just doing it moving forward. We are going back in time and then back to the future, as they say, so that we can create a complete, accurate database. So we are appealing for you, for your patience and for your understanding. It's not just a scanning project. It's not just a migration of manual to processing. We are cleansing the data, because we have become aware that there are some data in our database that should not be there.